All right. Hello. Today I'm working on Keach's Catechism, question number 49, and I do have some background music today, so let me know if it's too loud or if you can't even hear it, that's fine. I just thought I'd try something to fill in the silence because as I draw, sometimes I get very quiet. It's just me today, Paul, and Stephanie is not going to be here to read comments for me, so I will be taking care of reading all of the comments. And on Facebook, I do have some questions that I'll be posting. Pierce Birch says, sounding good. Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the time of drawing. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'd be happy to engage in conversation while I am while I'm drawing. Okay, Instagram says that the music is barely audible, which is fine because so I have the iPad on. It's further away from the computer that's putting out the music, but the microphone I'm using for Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is like right next to the computer, so you can probably hear it a lot louder over there. So today I'm going to be going live a few different times, just because it's one of those days where I do not have a lot of freelance work to do today. So that's typical for this time of year, for me anyways. So you're going to get a lot more RefToons videos probably today and tomorrow. Hold on, I have to coffee. One thing I do want to let you guys know is that we have, I think Stephanie just counted, and we have around 90 RefToons 2021 calendars left, and we will not be restocking them. So this is kind of the last call for calendars for the 2021 RefToons calendar. There's only 90 of them left. You can get them at reftoons.com. And I believe I saw a question on Instagram here. Just a minute. Do you teach catechism to your kids using your illustrations? We haven't yet, just simply because I haven't really finished them yet. We're actually going through. So my old pastor, Aaron White, he wrote this book called Paul's Big Letter. It's about it goes through the book of Romans for it takes kids through the book of Romans, and each chapter is kind of expounding on a chapter of Romans. So he wrote that, but he's also doing, and I did some illustrations for that. But he's also working on a second book, Paul's helpful letter for the Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, going through that. So we've been going through that with the kids at lunchtime, partly to teach them about 1 Corinthians and also to help me get ideas for illustrations for each chapter. So, yes, kind of. Greetings from Albania. Hi, Clement Costa in Albania. That's awesome. Rohrorn says, "How are you guys there? We're doing pretty good. We're all sick, but we are doing well. And greetings from India." Awesome. You guys are all... I got to catch up on stuff here on Instagram. So sometimes I get a thicker brush here, just to so I didn't get bogged down in the details, because I need to get the structure of this person right first. Before I get into any of the details, really. So this helps me just focus on the shapes and the... Okay, so that's the shape. Now we'll get the arms here. And they're kind of, well, holding on to the 10 Commandments, like the little version of the 10 Commandments. Have you tried Procreate on the iPad? Yes, I have. I love that program. Oh, and Maycon Portugal says, "Greetings from Brazil." Hello, Brazil. How you guys doing? Yes, Procreate on the iPad is a really good program. I love using it, and they have such amazing brushes on there, and I don't know, just everything about it is so cool. Sometimes I do end up using Affinity Photo on the iPad, mostly because I feel like it's a little bit better for delivering finished artwork to my clients. It's organized a little bit better structurally for the files that I would need to send to clients and stuff. So in that sense, I use Affinity Photo on the iPad for my finished client work, but if I'm doing sketches or work for myself, or just like painted style artwork, I like to use Procreate. And then we have some chains on the ground here that have been unlocked. Her chains are gone. She's been set free. Set free to what? To love Christ, to love his commands, to seek to glorify him. Which easiest you find to illustrate? Probably, well, probably Charles Spurgeon. I've illustrated him. He's the preacher I've illustrated the most, I think. I would say. So we have a question from JEA Studios. Did you know you can click on it and it shows up?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know that either. I just touched it. What does it say? Do you have a specific way of coloring and design of the character? So I just kind of explained part of the way I design characters. So like I can go to the beginning. So this is the rough. So I start out with a rough sketch idea right here, and then I will go over it with a thicker brush just to get the structure how I want it. Then over top of that, I'll go over again with a thicker brush to get more of like the structure in the details or whatever. And then I will turn the opacity of that down and make it a little more transparent. I'll make another layer over top of that. And then I will decrease the size of my brush. Go in and do the details. So that's really just the sketch part of my character design process. But then once the sketch is done, I will do the finished line art if the drawing requires it. And usually most of my drawings I do black line art with.
You like to play with the weights of your lines?
Yeah, I like to play with the line weight and stuff. But once the line art is done, then I will go in and I will lay in the flat colors. Flat colors would be just like the base color that everything is without shadows or highlights, and get those flat colors in there, and then once those are in, those single colors are easy to select in order to lay in the shadows and the highlights.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why we kept it in there.
Well, I could put it in.
Yeah, for damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right. We'll have a Pilgrim's Progress coin in the store as a damaged good. Want me to show them the extent of the damaged goods?
Sure.
Intermission here. Is your other screen on?
No, it's not.
So we have a Pilgrim's Progress book. In the RefToon store at reftoons.com, you will see that we have damaged goods there. And I don't know, I mean, there's a little bend in the corner there. I don't know how well you can even see that. And then there's just a spot on the book that makes me a little bit crazy. If I were to buy a new book, I wouldn't buy one with a spot like that. So we don't want to sell that full price. Oh, there's also like little just bumps like right there that are just kind of unnatural. I don't know, maybe you can't even see it, but you'll be able to find that at the store. Occasionally when we find something, we'll put it on and check out those damaged goods. I think we sell the damaged ones for $7 on these ones.
I think so. I'm not sure.
There's also, well, speaking of damaged goods, in October, Paul had posted Post Tenebras Lux. That was the Martin Luther comic over a few days, 16 days. And then he did caricatures, I suppose. This was a couple of years ago, but we have a book of it. But all of these ones, so we got a huge... Oh, sorry, I'm making a mess here, man. Oh, this isn't the one. It's these ones. So these ones have, like, bends in the book here. I don't know, you can see the crease. There's about 9 pages on each of the book that have just annoying creases in them. But those are available for $5 at a very highly discounted price, also on the RefToon store. Intermission is over. I'm going back to school with kids.
Okay. School them.
I'll bring these with me.
You're gonna school them in a game of basketball?
Yeah, well, they're watching.
Sounds like.
Oh, I have a question about Donovan's math, too.
Uh-oh. Is he not doing well?
Well,
Does he need a tutor for that?
he always, I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect somewhere.
Okay.
Where he gets it if he does it again, but I'm constantly telling him the same things that are wrong. So I feel like there's no growth. But then when he's like, oh, that's wrong, I'll do it again. But I feel like by now, after a few weeks, it should be, this is the formula. This is the solution. But he's constantly like missing things in there. So I don't know how to get him to understand that. And it could be just having him write out the formulas and just doing extra problems. I don't know. Another question. How'd you get this to show up? You just tell me?
Just tap on it. How is the drawing industry during COVID? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
So
if you're not answering, you can just cancel it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So the drawing industry, I don't know, as a whole, I'm not sure. I can speak from my experience and what I've heard from some illustrator friends of mine. The illustration seems to be doing just fine during COVID. A lot of illustrators already work from home. And it seems like, in the beginning at least, it seemed like a lot of businesses were just kind of, I don't know if they were rethinking some of their strategies for reaching people or what, but my workload picked up. It increased greatly during the first few months of COVID, and I had some pretty steady work coming in, which was a blessing because right before COVID, things were pretty stressful. I was very I didn't have a lot of work coming in, and I needed, because I do freelance illustration as my main job, I didn't have a lot of work coming in, and I was just about to start looking for some permanent full-time work in like a store or something, you know. But then COVID hit, and then everything closed. So that was kind of out of that was not an option anymore. But then, like the day after we found out everything was closed down, I started getting all kinds of patient work. So, and a couple other friends have said that. Oops. Have said kind of similar things, that their workload has picked up.
I was wrong. The Pilgrim's Progress is 10 for the damage because of Japan.
Okay.
Oh, for that.
All right,
Colored
so
copies.
Pilgrim's Progress damaged copies. They are $10 on the website. We have one that is damaged
15.
available, down from 15.
I took it. Did you want it back?
No.
Okay.
And right now I'm getting over a cold. Clement Costa says, can you help me with an angry Paul Washer coloring? Not sure what you mean. And Glendy Christie says, all RefToons. Praise the Lord. I'm not sure what you mean, Clement Costa. So we've got another question. Nagara Jenk Hashik, a regular live stream visitor. How do you plan your off time when you are freelancing? So my off time, right now I'm planning it by trying to finish up the Catechism. So that is... And Anderson Cardona on Facebook says, only 69 more questions to go. Go on, brother. That's right. Well, I've got a lot of those complete. Some of them are just sketches right now, but so I'm working through them. So this is how I plan my off time when I'm freelancing, is by I have a lot of like ideas for like personal projects and stuff through RefToons, and so there's just a lot of things I would like to accomplish with the tunes and with projects that spring from the tunes, and so my off time is spent trying to develop those and finish the things that I've already, like this Catechism. Hopefully that answers your question. Again, if anybody else has any questions, just there's a question box on Instagram where you can ask your questions. It's like a word balloon with a question mark in it. You just click that, I think, and that is how that's how I'll be guaranteed to see the questions, because it's hard for me to keep looking over at my items where no, you don't have to shut it for a while. You can keep on asking. Oh, it looks like we've got two more. Yeah, here. We'll do this one. Katsune saying, what's your favorite color and why? Seems like there's a shade of blue in almost all your sketches. Well, I like to use blue for my sketches. Just because I don't know why, but maybe it's psychological, but when I use like the black color or like a pencil color for my sketches, it feels, I don't know, it just feels muddy. I feel like I can visualize my drawings a little better when it's not like the typical black color for sketching. I don't know if it's because the black feels too much like a finished color to me, because I finish the line art in black. I like to do the sketches in a different color. Sometimes I use red, sometimes I use pink, fuchsia, just depending on what I'm doing. But my favorite color, I think, is probably blue, gray, and black. When was the last time you were in a burnout, and how did you come out of it? Burnout from art. Let's see. Burnout from art. When was the last time? That's a good question. Sometimes, so it really depends on what I'm working on, whether I get burnout or not. Because I don't feel like I really get burnout from doing RefToons, because it's something I really enjoy working on. It's my own personal project, so I don't mind working on it. I enjoy it. The times I get burnout are when I'm working on a client project and it just seems to be dragging on. And the only reason I get burnout on those is because I'm always looking forward to working on my own project. So that's what gives me burnout, and how I overcome it is, I don't know if I even do overcome it, really. It's just when you have clients that need their artwork by a certain time, you kind of just have to get it done no matter what, whether you're feeling burned out or not. Sometimes it helps to go take a walk or run on a treadmill, and that helps to get your mind off it, or go play with the kids or something. That helps. I think just getting out and getting some fresh air. Whoops, I'm losing everything here. Looks like we have 2 more questions. Who's your favorite preacher? That is a good question. The old dead guys, or of the old dead guys, I like. Oops, her arm is sticking out a little too much here. It's gonna go. Hold on. Okay, I feel like I need to change the whole positioning of this arm. Just a minute. So my favorite preacher, I don't know. I like Charles Spurgeon. I like his reading through a lot of his sermons. I don't really listen to a lot of other preaching other than like my own church or whatever. And so that's usually pretty good. JDA Studios also asks, any advice for beginner cartoonists and illustrators? My advice for beginning cartoonists and illustrators would be that's a good question. I have to think about that. I've gotten that question before, and I should write something out so that I can remember what I had said before. One bit of advice is to always be creating. Some advice that I received once and it was actually, I think it was Jake Parker who said it. He said something about you've got to get all of your bad drawings out before you get your good ones. So what I took away from that is you've got to keep drawing, keep practicing. And the more you draw, the more bad drawings you'll get under your belt, so that the good ones will come through eventually. And that was some advice that I really took to heart. And so I think it's important to be drawing every day, and to first learn to draw from life. And then once you have learned to draw from life, as far as like draw real things, don't just draw from photographs, draw things that are sitting in front of you, draw people, go to the mall and just draw people walking around, just sketch them out. They don't have to be finished drawings, just sketches. And the more you do that, the more of a library you'll create in your head of imagery that you can draw from. And once you know how to really draw people, then you can exaggerate them into cartoons and simplify them. I guess that's the advice I would give. Draw often and draw from life. How do you get, let's see here. We've got AOZ Okas asking some questions. Looks great. I love C.H. Spurgeon. John Piper is very good. You should hear him. I have heard a couple of John Piper things. I haven't listened to much of him. How do you get inspiration for your drawings? Well, how do I get inspiration for my drawings? It really just depends on what I'm drawing or what I want to draw, as to where I get inspiration. So like these catechism questions, the inspiration comes straight from the question or the verses that are or the verses that are referenced. Sorry, I couldn't find that word. D-Dub Mac on Facebook says, do you folks keep the Sabbath? I've never gotten that question before. I guess it depends on what you mean. A lot of people interpret that different ways. We know what this Baptist Catechism says, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but some people believe that you shouldn't do anything on the Sabbath. Some people believe that you should only be going to church and doing church stuff on the Sabbath. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't find that to be a very compelling argument for myself necessarily. So we keep the Sabbath by resting. There are times when I do have to do some work on Sunday. But for the most part, we try to Maybe Sundays, more of like family days and stuff. Looks like we have 2 more questions. Beard or no beard? Are you talking about me? Do I have a beard or no beard? Well, I have no beard. I have some scruff right now, but it'll be shaved off soon. What are you talking about for this lady here? Does she need a beard? And then we have 1 more question. So I can't grow a beard, really. I can grow stuff on my face. It's a little patchy. Anderson Cardona says, your work has inspired me to translate this catechism into Spanish. It's too helpful. What do you do? Soy Dio Goya. Awesome. And let's see. JEA Studios, what's your take on maintaining a sketchbook? Jake Parker said you should maintain a sketchbook. My take is that yes, you should. You should keep a sketchbook. I actually have taken Jake Parker's advice on which sketchbook to use. I actually liked his thoughts on that because. So let's see, what is this one? So I'm showing Instagram right now. Sorry, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So I have this, I get these small journaling things or whatever. They're just blank pages. I think they're called moleskin cahier or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I keep this sketchbook of just a bunch of ideas and stuff. And so this was one that I kept for a story idea that I had. So I do like character sketches and things like that in here. And so yeah, I like this one because it's a short book. It's not like super long, so you don't like, there isn't like the need to feel like you have to fill the whole thing out. And sometimes there's a James White sketch. I was watching The Dividing Line. So like it's short enough that it doesn't feel like it's such a chore to have to fill out the whole thing. So I still have a little bit left in it to do, but it's not like a super thick sketchbook that that I feel like I have to fill, and it takes me years and years to fill. So I have a lot of those that I have some that I've already filled up, and yeah. Hello. Let me save this before I lose it. JA Studios says, sorry, I got to go. Don't watch you before Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the questions as well. Keeping me on my toes. So inks are done. Now we get to lay in the flat colors. So let's see. The way I do this is I usually go around the entire thing, make it one color, and I want to get the lines in the center. I want to select up to the center of the lines so that the flat colors will flow underneath all of the lines, because if I use the paint bucket tool and go just right up to the lines, it will leave like a little halo effect around that line right there. We keep getting all these robocalls or telemarketers. Well, they're not really telemarketers, they're just robocalls. Fake spam calls all throughout the day on both our cell phone and our landline. It's really annoying. If anyone knows how to not get all those calls, that would be wonderful. What's up?
You can just pick up the phone and hang up if you want next time.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't get to it fast enough. Bailey said she would, and then it just kept ringing. So
Oh, that's all right. This last one only rang a couple times.
Oh, no, because I picked it up and hung up.
Oh, that's why. I thought it was magic.
Because I thought, well, I shut off the ringer out there, and then I thought, well, that's not going to work in here.
Oh.
So it is magic.
Yeah.
I won't tell you any more of my secrets.
Okay, thanks.
So we can keep the magic alive.
Yes. That's what I want. I want to live in.
Oh, dear. What do you want to eat?
I thought I was living in ignorance.
So you can't make any decisions?
No.
You want the food to magically appear?
Yeah. I don't know. Eggs. Scrambled eggs with sauce bacon. I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on it?
No, I have to thaw a lot of things in order to eat.
Oh, yeah.
I think. How was the chicken water? Was it icy?
It was completely frozen through, so I had to fill up a bucket underneath the water for them.
Do they remember how to use a bucket?
Hopefully they don't jump in it and freeze to death.
Okay. Oh, that's how they...
Oh, I did not see that question. Sorry, Manuel Vasp. Do you like the iPad Pro for what you do? Yes, I do like the iPad Pro. Right now, it is currently being used to record. This camera right here is the iPad Pro, which is being used to live stream on Instagram right now. But so this is a Wacom Cintiq tablet connected to my computer that I use for a lot of the larger work that I do. And so when I'm away from the computer, I do like to use the iPad Pro.
Okay.
What?
You have a lot of... They show up like anywhere. There's another question. Have you ever been asked to draw a picture of Jesus Christ?
Yes. Yes, I have. I have been asked.
And you have.
And I have. So my convictions on that are not the same as other people's convictions, which I think is totally fine. So yeah, I think it's hard to not picture something when you're even reading the Bible. So I think even if you're going by the 2CV rule in the Reformed community, it's hard not to violate it, even just by reading and thinking of imagery in your head.
Well, especially when Jesus himself was a human and
right.
seen by people,
Right.
and is using human analogies, and is using
the
verbal analogies. But
right. He was a historical person as well as deity. So I think there's a difference between creating images for worship and creating images to explain things or tell stories.
Right.
So
you have and you will.
So I have, and I will. I will try to be as respectful as I can about it.
As well, especially with the RefToons, but you've done a book for somebody.
Something's going on with this where it's like super laggy. I wonder if it's because I have too much lassoing going on here. Oh, plus 80% of my memory on my computer is being used up.
That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna go back in and figure something out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not much help.
That's fine.
Pizza.
That's the default. Pizza and eggs. Egg pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now I switch to, so I will fill this with a specific color. Oh, good grief. This is like, I may have to close this and reopen it. This is lagging big time. So Anderson Cardona, hopefully that answered your question. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close. I have to quit the program here, and then I'm gonna try to reopen it here. Let's enjoy some music. So this is just a free music stream, royalty-free music stream that I that I found on YouTube. So, all right. Hopefully this doesn't lag so much now. Okay. All right, I think it's not lagging anymore. All right, so now switch over. Now I will color, or I'm gonna block in some of these larger colors. The song reminds me of Mario Brothers. Okay, and then I grab the paint bucket tool. %. What color should her shirt be? I'm thinking, how about like a yellowish, goldish yellowish color? Or is that more green? I don't know. Here. How about like that? Now our pants. And so anywhere the brown touches the brown is the only really part I really need to worry about, because when I fill it in, it's only going to fill in that part. So that's going to be like a, there we go. And then the Ten Commandments here are going to be different color. It's like we have another question. How many souls have you saved? My goal is very high. I don't save souls. That is the work of God. So I don't have any idea. Is what I would say to that. Anybody else want to respond to that as well? Might be a good discussion on that. My goal is to plant seeds. I may never know how the seeds have fared. Hopefully I'm planting seeds with RefToons. But my goal is not to keep track of that. My goal is to live a life that honors Christ. Now for this one, all I have to do is this. Who's coming in my window?
Christmas.
It is not Christmas. Hey,
What day is it?
can you shut the window, please?
When you're done, can you play with my Legos with me?
Maybe.
Don't make them sound like
Don't-
oh. Like,
Okay.
Make them sound like a boy.
Okay, just close the window, please. Oh, I'll help you. That was Harper. She asked me to play with Legos with her, but she doesn't like when I make them sound weird. So she said, "Will you play with Legos with me, but don't make them sound weird." Because she has like some girly Legos, so I make them sound like, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?"
Can you be in there?
Nope, stay out for now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we've got some more comments here. Joshua Janier says, "Wow, we need more Voss." That's right. I only did one Voss, I think, and it was just a quote from him. Now that the flats are done, so here, let me show you. So someone else was asking about my process. So the flats go underneath the inks. So if I turn the ink layer, we'll see that here are the flats, and they're all touching. And turn on the inks. So the flats are right under the inks. And they kind of overlap the inks a little bit, which is good for printing purposes and for regular purposes, because otherwise it's not work very well. Bachi 1173, a Christian is commissioned black rice. Wait, I think that might be a typo. To go out into the world and fix the gospel to every nation, tongue, and tribe. We ourselves do not save anybody. It is the gospel. It is the power of God and things. Have you ever thought about doing one on the Heidelberg Catechism? The Dutch Reformed community would go crazy. I have thought about that. I like the Heidelberg Catechism. I like the wording of it. I think it's the most beautiful catechism as far as the wording goes. Whoops. Why is that like that? So I want this. No. Where's my... Oh, up here. Contiguous and 5%. There we go. That's what I need. Now I'm going to switch my brush over and... Oops. That didn't change. Still didn't change. That's another problem with this program. It doesn't always do things the way I want it to do them. Just add in some highlights here. Davis Descendants, hey, how's it going? Appreciate you, Major, man. Awesome, thank you. Something's going weird with these this stuff on here. It looks like all the text is overlapping on my side for the comments on Instagram, at least. Excuse me. Okay, it is still lagging like crazy. I'm going to try to turn off the music. That might be doing something for the lagging. Okay. Skin tone and So this is where someone had mentioned a blue tint to a lot of my drawings. So I like to do shadows in blue. So I'm going to create a multiply layer. Opacity down to 40%. And I've selected this blue color to use for shadows. And that is still okay. I may have to close the program again and reopen it just to see if that'll work. All right, try that. Close. Quit. And reopen. Bachi 1173 says, "Sorry, brother, voice text didn't work good at all. Haha, today just feels like a little monkey is following me and throwing wrenches." And James the Third just shouts, "RC Sproul, what's wrong with you people?" Sounds like you just like to join live streams and yell at people. Just kidding. Let's try this again. So, opening this. I wonder if there's anything in the preferences I can do. Performance. I don't know. I think it's probably all right. I wonder if there's an update for this program that I need to do. Okay. So this is partly why I do the flats as well, so that I can select each color and only color that color with my shading and highlights, just so it doesn't go outside the lines. A little trick that I use. Make another layer for the highlights. James III on Instagram asks, what art program do you use? I'm using, so this is a page layout program called Affinity Publisher. And there are two other programs in the Affinity series called Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. So this program actually, if you have those other two programs as well, it kind of combines them all into one program. So like up here, I can switch between the Affinity Photo persona, Affinity Designer persona, and the Affinity Publisher persona. So I can switch between the drawing app, the vector app, or the page layout app while I'm working on these. So when I switch, like say I wanted to go back to the page layout app, I switch to Publisher, and it'll change all of my tools here. And then I can see all my pages here that I have. So this is laid out to be a book. So that's what I'm working on. And I can go into each page and I can edit each one or draw in each one. And it'll still be part of the layout. So I can go back to this one. Let me save it. And then I'll go back to the photo persona so I can continue to draw. I'm going to give these one more layer of shine that does not have the opacity turned down, just so I can get a brighter white on there. But not too much. Bachi1173 says, how long have you been drawing, and do you go to school for it? And how do you make Lego blocks sound funny? How do you make Lego blocks sound funny? I don't know how to make Lego blocks sound funny. I've been drawing since I was 3. I went to school for art in general, just like a classical art education, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do or what I could do with art. And after that, I tried to find some art jobs, couldn't find any, so I just kind of fell into freelance illustration by finding a few jobs on Craigslist here and there, and then freelancing websites like Upwork.com. And so then I've been freelancing ever since 2009, I believe. So 10, 11 years. James Logan, thank you. He says your art skills are on point. Thank you very much. It looks like I have a couple questions on Instagram here. Beethoven, the black one. Can you make a stickman animation or a 3D animation flesh versus spirit fight? I probably could make a stickman animation of that, but it would take me like 5 years to finish. I'm not a very fast animator. I am SMIT. Could you make some tunes only dedicated to share simple gospel message for Christmas? By the way, good something. I'm not sure how to see the rest of that. Good work. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hello, Krupa Nidhi. Hope you are doing great. Yes. Well, I'm getting over a cold, but that's it. It's my usual this time of year cold. What was that last question? Sorry. Make some tunes only dedicated to share simple gospel message for Christmas. Well, I have one that I did for, it was a Charles Spurgeon tune. I should post that one again. It was a four-page cartoon where he talks about you don't have to work to make yourself look good before you come to Christ, but you can come to Christ now for all your blemishes. Oh, what am I doing here? But yes, I think that would be a good idea to do more tunes that are just sharing the gospel. I don't have time right now before Christmas to do like Christmas, specifically Christmas ones, but that's something to think about for next year, I think. And maybe throughout the year I can work on some of those. But I'm just one person, and it all just depends on my schedule. So RefToons is really a side project right now for me. I have my main freelance work, but right now I have some free time because I don't have much in the way of freelance to do right now. So right now I am focusing on getting a lot of the tunes done, and I'm focusing on getting this catechism complete because it's something that's been weighing on my mind and a lot of other people's minds for about a year now. So just trying to get this done, get it out there. And once this is done, I'll be able to get the book printed or published by a publisher. That's not what I want. There we go. So thank you for the question. And more. So yeah, if you guys have questions on Instagram, just click on that question button. It's a word balloon with a question mark in it, and I will check those out and see if I can answer some of those for you. But actually, I'm almost done with this one, so so I'm not sure I'll have time to answer any more questions. You need to group that. I'll label it artwork. Oops. Underneath all the words. There we go. And I feel like it needs to come down more. There. I like the way that turned out. The preface to the Ten Commandments teaches us that because God is the Lord and our God and Redeemer, therefore we are bound to keep all his commandments. So, God is our Redeemer. We follow him out of love for him. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in, tuning in. Bachi1173 says, thank you, love your work as always. I just started painting with acrylic on canvas. I was referencing to the lady in the window that wanted to play Legos with you earlier. Oh, my daughter, Harper, she says, you can play with Legos with me, but don't make them sound funny. Because I usually take the little characters and say, oh, hello, how are you today? Would you like to play with me? She doesn't I do that voice. She's like, don't make them sound weird. So that's what that was referring to. So thank you everyone for tuning in. You can check out all the RefToons gear at reftoons.com. We have RefToons collection. We have RefToons coloring book. There are just 90 2021 calendars left, so get them while they last. We will not be reprinting them. The next calendars will be the 2022 calendars, Lord willing. So you can follow RefToons on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, MeWe, YouTube. Anywhere there's social media, you can probably find RefToons. Krupa Nidhi says, in India it is 12 a.m. exactly. So good morning. Good morning to you. And good afternoon. It is 12:30 p.m. here. So I am signing off, and I will see you all probably later today. Probably go back on later today because don't have a lot of freelance work, so I'm just working through a lot of RefToon stuff. So thanks everyone for joining. I will talk to you all later.